Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Smith, his first carry, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield.
And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And he'll go out near mid. Field at the 49.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go. And he jumped a little bit too early.
Here's Bridgewater. It finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On second down, here's Smith. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Go ahead.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle, and the defense loses it. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been... quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step. And that's
trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Bridgewater now. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Touchdown, Packers! Teddy Bridgewater, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield. But sometimes the receivers just run those defenders off, and it creates a wide open space.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd.
He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, we're not even out of the first quarter yet. And that's his 3rd receiving touchdown of the game. Tremendous job. And I think this might come under the heading of, when someone has the hot hand, you've got to keep going back to him.
And on the defensive side, they better figure something out quickly.
Yeah, I think that no matter what, you've got to do something to slow him down. I don't care if it's double or triple coverage. Make someone else emerge, because right now, he's absolutely shredding him.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
That'll go as a loss of 5. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Bridgewater on first down. He gives it over the middle of Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw is Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
After the penalty, it's Smith. Dances by him. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep. And
this is intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A handoff to Smith. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Bridgewater to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to break up fourth.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it with a third down stop by them.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He only has a single solo carry. Numero uno. Second quarter, they need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Kyler Fackrell coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting...
This is caught at the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So a change of possession here on the punt. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my...
It's caught inside the 25. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
A good return there, 17 yards. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This is Breida. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he's got room. There he goes, right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 66 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Bridgewater. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the 49ers continue to roll. Some quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure... if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, 4 down. 250.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the
Personal
call.
foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Bridgewater, his pass caught at the 4. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. They'll throw now on the final play. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
3-19!
Back to throw here. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
To me, the defense was a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to fire, and that's caught inside the 35. And across the track, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. And he'll bang that one through. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that down.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Bridgewater. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth. I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he slings one that's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. Third down here.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of
Oh, wide open, complete. He's at the 30, 20, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the 49ers continue to roll. And he puts it through. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we kept this guy right where we wanted. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Come on, fellas, here we go.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Toss play to McKinnon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They run again with Breida, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now the Packers get set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now It's much more in their head. And what I mean by that...
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On the counter, it's Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's J.K. Scott now. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And he'll take it just outside the 40. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And after getting tackled, very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
13.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. The 20. Wide open receiver complete. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And the Niners get there and bring him down. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Deep ball for Goodwin. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Open man is Pettis. It's complete. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rodgers. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. 6 guard. Check 6 guard.
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep. And this is caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. In for the score. And the 49ers continue to roll. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off.
Yeah.
know this thing's done.
The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Bridgewater on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bell. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him on.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. And they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allowed him to get home.
Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On third down, Bridgewater. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And Bullock will put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And they'll run it here. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll toss it to Breida. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Bullock good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. To return, it's McKinnon. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue 90. 90. You ain't got nothing. 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 You ain't got no got nothing. You ain't got
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle and got his man complete. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One last shot now for Bridgewater. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the 49ers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.